everyone. My name is Nicole and I'm a Marketing and Communications Coordinator for Master Builder Solutions and Bluey Technologies ANZ. And today we're joined here with Frank, the Project and Services Manager for Bluey Technologies. And we're going to be taking a deep dive into who Bluey Technologies are, what they do, and how they operate within the Master Builder Solutions group. First off, thanks Frank for being here. Can you start off by introducing yourself, your role, and how long you've been with Bluey Technologies?
Yep, so thanks for having me. Frank Cheroni. I've been part of Bluey Technologies for nearly 12 years now. Started on site just as a site engineer and then worked my way up to running the division. So what we do, the P&S side, is projects and services. So we look after the whole supply and install part of the business for waterproofing in tunnels. So we have our own install crews and we can do everything from design through to installation.
For those who aren't familiar with Bluey Technologies, could you give us an overview of the business and how it fits within Master Builder Solutions?
Yep. So Bluey started about 20 years ago. Started in the garage. It was started to offer technical support on bagged grout products. Back then there was a lot of suppliers for that market, but no one offering the technical support. So that business started looking just after grout. It over the years developed into other products like ground support, epoxies. One of the products was tunnel waterproofing. And over the years, the same technical requirements were brought into the other product ranges, where it wasn't just supplying of a product, it was offering the technical support. So with the tunneling side in the waterproofing, the market wanted an install arm, didn't want someone just supplying the product. They wanted someone to install it as well, and that's where Bluey got on board, brought some experts over from Germany and trained local people, and we've run install crews out to 30, 40 guys at any one time across Australia and New Zealand doing install on tunnel projects. So Bluey got acquired by Master Builders about 5 years ago. Most of that product range has now been integrated into Master Builders products. Product naming, Bluey Technologies, because it was so well known in the market for tunnel waterproofing, the Australian division decided it was best to keep that name as an individual brand. So we still operate under the Bluey Technologies name because that's what everyone in tunneling knows. But we work under Master Builder systems. So it's, we sort of work separately, but also together, and we have complementing products.
Yep. Yeah, awesome. Bluey's known for taking on some of Australia's biggest tunneling and underground construction projects. How would you describe what Bluey does on these projects?
Yeah, so we're not just, like I said, we're not just a supplier. We're a group of, what was started was a group of engineers. So we always look at what we do in an engineering way. So it's a lot of problem solving. So in these spaces, there's always a lot of technical issues. And what we do is we take on those technical issues, work out how to provide a solution for it, and incorporate those solutions in our product range. So we've worked on pretty much most of the major infrastructure projects, underground infrastructure projects in Australia and New Zealand in the last 20 years. I said I've been involved in about 12. So, and in that time, there's been a lot of projects where we're working on in one shape or form, whether it's supply and install. We've also do supply our products to other installers. And then sometimes it might just be on a consulting basis, looking at technical issues and coming up with designs and assisting designers and clients to work through any of their problems.
Yeah, cool. We'll touch on some of the projects that Bluey's been involved in just a bit. but the Blue Seal waterproof system is a huge part of what Bluey offers. Can you take us through what makes that product different and why it's trusted by so many contractors in Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah, so under the Blue Seal range, for the tunnel waterproofing side, we've got two main products. There's a PVC, and we also do a VLDPE. So PVC is more widely used around the world. Everyone knows it. VLDPE is a higher quality product. Traditionally, we used to import that out of Germany, and our PVC was also imported out of Spain. And pre-COVID, I started looking into whether we could actually manufacture this locally. So we started the process back then. There was a bit of a delay because of COVID, but after COVID, we really delved into it. Got a product produced locally in Melbourne. Had all the testing done. So there's a lot of testing that goes into these products. Some tests run up to 9 months in duration. So once we had a product, we had to do the testing, and then there was a lot of waiting to get those results back to know that we had a product that was suitable for market. In that time, we also had to have things like BA anchors, rondelles, just ancillary items that are used extensively in the tunnel market. We had to get dies made, things like that. So now we have a product range that is made in Australia. And there's a definite appetite for that locally. One, it's high quality. We can control the quality a lot better manufacturing ourselves here. But clients also like the ability to have a local made product. It helps with their project requirements. So a lot of these projects in Australia need local content, so it assists with that. But also means it drops the lead times because a lot of these tunnels, programming changes very quickly. So having the ability to call out material quicker is obviously a big advantage. And over the years, we've sort of increased in that product range and added new componentry as we've seen the need for on these projects. So now we offer a full suite of products in that range for the tunnel market.
Awesome. The Bluey team has been involved in, as you said, some of Australia's biggest infrastructure projects. Give us some examples. Talk us through those.
Yeah, so I've personally been involved in dozens of major infrastructure projects in tunnels. Not just tunnels, we do station boxes, large caverns, any sort of underground structure, cross passages. But probably the better ones, the ones we enjoy, is because we are, like I said, a team of engineers, we like challenges. Tunnels are always difficult to work in, but it's the ones where you have to come up with solutions. They're the ones we like the best because it gives us a chance to actually use our engineering. So probably a couple come to mind. One was Melbourne Metro, which was there was two sites on the Melbourne Metro site in the city, and they're actually a trinocular design. So there's sort of three tunnels in one, and where those central pillars are, there was a lot of issues around loading. So we spent quite a while coming up with a design for that, working with the designers, and that was probably started about a year or two before the tenders even released. So we were working in the background on the design for that before we even were selected to do the project. But it meant we had a greater understanding of the issues, and when it got to tender process, we could actually provide that solution. Another one is probably Barangaroo Station. That was another one of the most challenging projects. That had probably about 3 or 4 bespoke solutions we had to come up with on that project that wasn't standard on any other projects we had run. So that was quite fun as well, just sitting there. Sometimes it might be 2 or 3 of us around a desk or a whiteboard just sketching sketching ways to problem solve. So that was good trying to do that. And then it got to the end of the job, and the client was wrapped on how it worked out. It was one of the driest jobs they'd worked on. So yeah, that was good fun, that one.
Awesome. Bluey's approach goes far beyond just supplying a product. How does that end-to-end service model from supply to installation and on-site training really set Bluey apart from the competition?
Yeah, so like I said, we do get involved very early on in the project, so even before tenders are out. So at the start, we actually get involved before a head contractor is actually selected. So there might be multiple head contractors tendering for the works. We'll get engaged to help them out, and sometimes we'll be working across all of them to help them with budgets. So we'll go let them know what the sort of budgets they need to allow for the waterproofing. At that stage, any sort of minor design improvements that can be made to help them. But through the process, we'll look at things like access equipment, so how to make the job quicker and safer. So it might be whether you can build a gantry, which is the quickest way to install membrane, but has its own challenges. So we can work through that design and costing with the client. And if that's not feasible, then we look at things like running off EWPs and things like that. So we basically work out the best method of installing the membrane. We'll also look at various products. Like I said, there's a few different products we have available to ourselves. So we'll then look at the specific projects and work out what's the best product for the client, what's the most cost-effective solution for them. And through that whole process, there's continual design considerations. There's a lot of things. We try and capture a lot of that at the start of the project before it starts. But during the project, there's a lot of things that come up. So we're constantly trying to evolve how we're doing things to solve problems. During construction, we obviously do the supply, but like I mentioned before, we have our own install crews. So we're doing the install. We'll also be called out at times to offer consulting services. So if a client on another project has some issues, we can get called up to go and investigate that and help with remediation. So it is a sort of end-to-end process that we can offer. It's not just supplying the product.
Yeah, okay. I think that segues well into the next question. Bluey are kind of experts in the industry and in the market, but it's constantly evolving and changing. So my next question is what is Bluey doing to continue to innovate and stay ahead when it comes to waterproofing technologies and practices?
Yeah, so I suppose, like I mentioned, bringing in the product range to be made in Australia, that's been one big thing over the last few years, and helping with the whole carbon footprint. We're not importing a lot of products. But on the other side of things, we're constantly evolving and adding things to our product range. When clients have technical issues, we look at it. So there's a few examples. We developed a high capacity anchor a few years back to solve one client's issues, and that's now sort of become standard on every project. They're being used as a standard product, but that was designed by and developed by us. We've also designed bespoke sump systems to help for dewatering during the install process, and that solves a number of problems. But again, there was no actual design for a way to do that. It was always a hole in the membrane and someone vacuuming, but we've come up with a lot more, a much better system there. So that design is now incorporated into most of the projects that are moving forward. So we're always looking at problems, how we can create a solution for that, and whether we can use that solution everywhere on a lot of other projects. So it's really taking lessons learnt and improving it for the next projects.
Cool. Safety, sustainability, and partnership are some of Bluey Technologies' key values. And Frank, you've been with Bluey Technologies for, well over a decade now. What does being a part of Bluey Technologies mean to you?
Yeah, it's when I started, like I said, I started 12 years ago before the acquisition. It was only a small company back then, so it was a lot more like a family. Everyone knew everyone, and we worked well together. With the acquisition, we're now part of a much bigger team. So the dynamics have changed, but we've tried to keep what we do very similar. We still, safety is always paramount. We don't want to see anyone getting hurt. So like I said, we do have a lot of people on site. We do work in a very dangerous environment. Tunneling is traditionally a very dangerous environment. So we're constantly evolving how we do that work and trying to find ways to do things safer. And again, that might be through the different types of access equipment, or it could be manual handling, different trolley systems, even the way we cut the membrane. So we're constantly looking at safer ways to do things. The sustainability, that was, again, the whole push to move to Australian manufacturing, local manufacturing, just meant that we're not so reliant on importing things, and that's really dropped our carbon footprint. Also, the VLDPE that we produce here is a lot cleaner to manufacture. So again, that's helping with that carbon footprint. But generally now being part of the greater Master Builders team means we've got more outreach. We've got a lot more technical advice that we can get just in the local Master Builders team globally, so which has been good.
Yeah, so like the local manufacturing keeps jobs local, but you've also got access to, global research and development from the Master Builders solutions.
That's right, yeah. So there's Master Builders have a global waterproofing team, which we can reach out to, and they reach out to us as well on occasions. So
Awesome.
It's been good.
All right, well, that kind of concludes our deep dive today. If people want more information on Bluey Technologies, what you guys do, where can they contact you to find out more information? Anyone can contact me via my email, and I assume we can put some information on this. I don't know how this works. We'll pop something up.
Any email, phone calls, Teams messages. We're always here to help. If there's anyone globally that has any questions, happy to help. If someone's interested in, the VLDPE membrane as well, we're looking for opportunities that we can supply overseas as well.
And we've got the Bluey Technologies website as well. So if you do want more information, www.bluey.com.au, or feel free, as Frank said, to reach out to him via email. Thanks so much for your time today, Frank.
No worries, thank you.
We hope you enjoyed our video on Bluey Technologies.
Thanks.